All over the United States, homebrew clubs meet to make, drink, and talk about beer. This is the Crude Brew Crew Homebrew Club out of Torrance, California. Welcome to our meeting.
Welcome back to another episode of the Crude Brew Crew. It's going to be our August brew club, and we're going to be brewing a red Saison today with Jared as the head brewer, which is, Jared, get over here real quick. I know you're busy, man. What are we brewing today?
Sack Saison, love you long time, baby.
Oh, love you long time.
That's right.
Cool, man. Did you make up this recipe?
I sure did.
All right, well, I don't know if you want to share it or not, or let's see how it comes out.
Maybe we should see how it comes out.
Okay, well, we'll get back to more of the brewing later. I know you're busy, man. Sorry. Thanks for coming over and loving me a long time over here. So we're getting ready to brew. We got our club back here, tasting beers, talking, warming up. We're clubbing, whoop, whoop. And we're also going to be tasting some a young tasting of our old ale. I think we brewed it last March, bottled last June, and we plan on actually aging it for a year before our actual tasting, but we can't wait. We just can't. So young tasting today, and also we're going to be doing some tasting of, I believe, Boulevard Brewing Company. And maybe I'll pull Jeff over here. He just went to Palooza, whatever it's called. And in Mammoth, maybe we'll talk about that a little bit. And yeah, we're going to get our brew on. Okay. Peace.
If I speed up, you and my car might just meet. Or something heavy.
All right, well, since we finally got our red Saison in the mash, we got, I think, an hour wait is typical. I didn't look at the recipe, so I'm assuming an hour wait until we can start boiling and transfer it over. So we're going to start eating. This is our part of the brew club where we get to mingle a little more than we do and refill our beers and start eating. So today we got some, what do we got? Tri-tip and macaroni salad, both made by one of our newest members, Bobby. So thank you very much, Bobby. I hope it's good so we can still like you. And yeah, pretty much we're brewing and we're gonna start eating, and this is what we do. The end. Okay, not the end. All right, let's get this shit going.
I miss you today, but you know it's not my aim. I miss you today, cause you walked the other way. I miss you today, cause you looked the other way. I miss you today, but you know it's not my aim.
There you go. Well, it looks like our mash tun is pissing and our brew kettle is fired up. Where are we at right here in the brew stage?
Yeah, we're getting ready to boil, so about ready to go.
And we're making a 10-gallon batch today of this red love you long time Saison. And pretty happy about it. I'm happy that you got the yeast, man. Fucking
Yeah.
if this doesn't end up good, I don't
know what we're going to do.
we might have to just crack open some more old ale before our yearly date is up. But have we hit our mash temperature so far? Like, how's it going?
Yeah, let's see. We mashed in at 156, I think, and dropped down to about 154. So that's acceptable. We wanted it hot and give it some body because it's such a light beer. It's a real Saison, man. I think we're supposed to be 4% ABV, so it's going to be light. Grain bill was light. One thing we did was a little unusual is we just took some carafa right at the end of the mash, put it in a bag, tea-bagged it a couple times, and got the color out of it, and then got it out of there before we got that astringent taste in the beer. So,
now was that planned, or was that like a spontaneous last-minute decision, or?
No, That was planned, though there was a change in the original recipe, so we'll see how we like this. It was going to be roasted barley. We ended up with the carafa.
And then are we doing a 60-minute boil, or is he going to do a 90, or is there some off?
Well, it's mostly Pilsner, so it's a mostly Pilsner malt. So we're going to do a 90-minute boil, get all the DMS out.
Okay, that's cool. And then I'm going to come back to you later. I want to ask about some of the hop profiles because I don't even know what they are yet. And then, yeah, I think we are ready to taste some beers, though, so that's where we're headed next. All right, we're on the next part of our monthly brew club meeting where we do this all the time. We play on this playhouse. No, I'm just kidding.
And David usually falls off of it at some point.
You see all the broken steps? That's where I've been. No. We're actually going to taste some commercial beers right now. And, well, you know what? I'm going to actually turn to Jeff while Noel pours and tell us about this beer right now that we're pouring.
All right, just got back from Palooza a couple days ago, and Mammoth Brewing Company, which you can't buy outside of Mammoth really, has some seasonal releases. This one is called the Apocalypse. It's a lager made with a Mexican lager yeast, and they added Owens Valley, which is a local area there, some honey, some blue agave nectar, and even some Indian paintbrush, those little flowers, little red thingy sticking out. They found that has some essence, added some of that and some flowers in it. Obviously hops and barley. And you add it all together and it's quite a complex beer. Again, it's seasonal, so if you don't get up there soon, you can't have any. And I'm kind of curious what everybody else thinks. I was drinking it all weekend along with, a couple hundred other beers. There were 66, I think, craft brewers there with a couple samples each. And if you ever get a chance, you might want to check out Palooza up in Mammoth. Great show every year. And I'm seeing some nodding heads here, so let's get some feedback from some experts here.
Yeah, that's unusual.
Well, I'm going to keep moving the mic. I'm no expert. But to do this, I'm glad this is an explicit podcast. This beer is fucking badass, dude. Like, I need to continue looking at the bottle so I can remember it. You got to try this one. What do you think about it, man?
And it's got a great... Get that thing away.
Eat them up!
It's got a great malt, like...
Backbone.
What do you call it? Aftertaste? I mean, like a honey sweet aftertaste. It's got... what are the hops they said they used in it?
I think it was Cascade. I don't remember anything else.
It seems fairly bitter.
Matt would like it.
Matt would know it. And I'm not familiar with the Mexican lager yeast, but so I don't know if I'm tasting any of that.
Palo Santo.
Oh, yeah, that's another thing.
Yeah, you do get a little bit of a wood flavor, but not as much vanilla as like an oak, but there's a little something there. It's it's nice and clean, like a lager, but it's kind of heavy too. Not like a
it definitely is very
like
smooth.
a buck. Yeah, it's real smooth and crystal clear, and it's a nice lager.
It's almost
unusual.
like they aged it on that wood or something.
Yeah, but
really
it's very good, but to say the least. I mean, very good is an understatement, but it's just so many different things in this. It's hard to nail each individual thing. It's just the honey. You definitely do taste it.
It's
Is
just
sweet.
badass, huh?
Yeah, it's like there's no words to describe this.
It's the Indian paintbrush, man. Of all the flavors, it's Indian paintbrush. And I talked to one of the two guys who actually,
paint.
when they decided to make it, were on a hike through the local mountains there. And, the stuff grows wild, and they, crushed it up and sniffed it, and it doesn't really have much bouquet aroma, but it has oils in it, and you kind of taste it. And according to him, after tasting the wild flowers and then drinking the beer, you can actually taste that note. Our palates, of course, aren't tuned to paintbrush flavors. I couldn't tell you on earth what it tastes like.
My palate's not tuned to anything. Now, one last question. I didn't go to Palooza. I'd love to go. I've never been. Is this only available there, or do you know?
Well, it's made by Mammoth Brewing, which is currently only available in Mammoth and local areas. They keep expanding. They have plans to open a larger facility, and then they will be able to produce beer for the rest of us. This happens to be a seasonal release, so even if you're up there a couple months from now, you can't get it. So I brought a couple bottles and try and share with the folks down here at sea level.
Now, personally, the only place I've ever seen a Mammoth bottle of beer that I can purchase, I go to Kern once a year for Memorial Day weekend or whatever, and they have their standard pale ale, their stouts, IPA. I've never seen anything like this. I don't think I've ever seen seasonal beers over there, but I do know that you can get Mammoth in Kern. I need to find this, order it online. I know there's Brewforia and a couple other places you can order online. I need to find this beer. This is a badass beer. Thank you for sharing it, man.
Glad
Appreciate
you like
it.
it.
And then I'm going to down this, and I think we're about to try another beer. So
Yep. We have another one. You know, I'm not an expert on this, but I picked it up when I was in Colorado. Boulevard Brewing out of Kansas City.
Now, why were you in Colorado?
Well, you know, I got lost one day and ended up in Colorado and saw this great beer. I didn't want to leave.
Back to Boulevard Brewing.
Well, like I said, I think I'd heard of Boulevard Brewing, but I've never had any of their beers before. So this was an IPA. Was it called Single Wide IPA? I think.
Single wide.
And yeah, so let's try it. See what you think.
Yeah, it's kind of got like it's got kind of in between a pale ale and an IPA to
Very
me.
light.
It's very light, but it's got a nice mellow, light, citrusy aftertaste that I'm really enjoying. Almost orangey, but not quite.
A little bit, huh?
Oh, it is orangey.
You know, picking that up.
I agree with everything you said as a description. It's easy drinking, almost like a session beer, but it's got good hop backbone, and the aftertaste is nice and clean. There's nothing cloying or sticky about it, so I enjoy it. It's good.
I don't think it's like a heavy hopped IPA or nothing like that.
Yeah, it's definitely an IPA. I'm not a big IPA fan, and it's definitely tastes the hops bitter, but it is light for an IPA.
This is your last night as a club member.
I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding, man. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, Justin's
Quite
moving
literally,
away.
yes, the last meeting for a while,
Justin's
but
moving away.
Oh, are you?
yes,
He really is.
Quite
Damn,
literally.
that's fucked up because I was just fucking around. That was just towards your IPA comment,
He was
dude.
trying to kick you out.
Where are you
Oh
This is more
man.
East
Arizona.
Coast.
So
everybody's
bring back
leaving.
a lot of Arizona beers.
Well,
Pretty awesome.
and
Yeah,
and also
yeah.
you can stay as a virtual member at no charge, which we do
I
have
can.
at crewbrewcrew.com.
No charge, nothing. He's paid up until the spring. He's a full-on member.
Well, even he can continue his virtual membership afterwards. We can help you brewing and all that
We'll
stuff.
Skype him in every once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're at
You know what? That'd be awesome. We should do that.
That'd be, if we could work it out.
I
I'll tell you
just
what,
got to ask. I mean,
Just gotta coordinate it.
Are you moving because of us?
is somebody pregnant?
Something
Why are we leaving?
Something David said.
One, someone's pregnant. Two, you guys are two big IPA snobs, so I'm out of here.
He likes the East Coast IPA
So
profile
he is
more.
the father.
I gotta be honest though. I've been drinking a lot of Dogfish 90-minute IPA lately since you said East Coast IPA. I like that beer.
Well, they're a little unusual. This makes me think more of like that. Was it Raging Bitch? What's that? You know,
Flying Dog. I think?
Flying Dog. Yeah, I think that's it. More of. That's what I think of when I think of.
No offense to Flying Dog, I like this one better. I don't know if you guys have tried it.
Flying Dog does that blueberry one, right?
Yeah.
You got the little bulldog.
Mhm.
All right.
I like their porter. I think it's Road Dog Porter. I think that's one of my favorites they make that I've tried. I haven't tried their full, lineup yet. I do like this Boulevard Brewing IPA better than the Flying Dog.
Of course, now I'm getting worried. His brother Noel is now cracking open another beer.
I think it's unlabeled. I'm guessing maybe
That might
a
be
homebrew,
Homebrew?
which could be
Drum roll? No.
good or
he's
bad.
leaving.
Let's see who brewed
Running away
it.
now.
And all right. So we just showed you a little bit of Mammoth, showed you a little bit of Boulevard, and now we're going to show you a little bit of what we like to call the Moldy Oldie Ale. This was a Noel Hawkins Crude Brew we talked about earlier that we brewed back in March, and we did film this fucker.
No, we didn't.
Yep.
Nope.
Yep.
Nope.
All right. And we're going to taste this beer, even though a little young. We brewed this in March, bottled it in June. We're going to sit on it for about a year.
Yeah.
And
Fermented for a long time.
we're gonna do a young tasting right now.
The folks out there may need to know that this is an old ale, and it's called that for a reason. It's
Is it moldy?
well, that's what we're going to find out. I don't think it's had a chance, but we'll see.
Drink up.
What do you guys?
I didn't hear
Is it
it.
the nose or the forehead?
It's the forehead.
Yeah.
You guys suck. Nose goes.
Down it. 10%. By the way, this is 10% alcohol.
Yeah.
9.96%.
You might need to know that.
It's
Woo!
high.
That's sweet.
For a 10-gallon batch, I used about 30 pounds of Maris Otter, some Victory malt, some Special B, I don't remember the exact amounts, but honey, molasses, and I used strictly one 60-minute addition of nugget hops. I think it was about 3.5 ounces, and a London ale yeast, and fermented it for 3 months and bottled it in June, and so it's been sitting about 2 months in the bottle. It's carbonated up pretty good, but we're gonna let it sit for about a year, and I have a 24-pack sitting back of the garage, so we'll try it again next year. And,
Are you going to be posting this recipe to the forum? I know you mostly do on the other ones. This is a great beer. Are you going to be doing it to the Moldy Oldie?
I will if I remember. There's no reason not to. I will.
That's a good enough answer. So you can keep checking back at crudebrewcrew.com. Usually in the forums is where you find our recipes. And we can't tell you what it's going to taste like in a year until a year later. But right now, as a young dude,
You can definitely taste it. It's high in alcohol. It's pretty up there, but it is sweet, which kind of counters it a little bit. But
I don't think it's overly sweet.
No, it's not.
It's more of like you get a little bit of the mix of honey and molasses. I don't think I could have pointed it out without you telling me, though.
Yeah.
But now that you said it, I think I am getting the clover honey and molasses out of it.
I'm tasting a clover flavor in here. Not like a Weissen type clover, but more of a sharper clover taste. And I don't know if the clover honey comes out that much, but I kind of wonder if it could be from the honey. Possibly. I don't know how much. I've never done a lot of experiments with different types of honey, so I don't know how different they are. But maybe that's where some of this clover came from.
And I foresee that some of the sweetness is going to go away with age. Like, I mean, it's not completely, but it's some of it, and I think it's going to be a badass beer.
Yeah, I kind of have to agree. It is unusual. My experience with honey has been it dries the beer out, raises the alcohol, and hasn't really left a lot of residual, although here I can actually taste it. I mean, it's not a huge note, but it's there, and it's really nice. This is something that I think over time is going to be great. It's filled with all those little bubbles that tell you this is well made. It's very high gravity, which kind of goes without saying it. With age, this will be something to drink. So, again, this is something we might want to revisit.
No, I don't see any flaws with this beer at all. Like, I usually, if you have a homebrew and there's one thing wrong with it, it's still drinkable, but there's something wrong with it, you could point it out, some sort of factor. I don't see that in this beer. This is a very good beer. I think with age, it's going to get even better.
Yeah, and, for something that is homebrewed with this high of an ABV and this young, again, flawless, very drinkable. Just be careful. It goes down a little easy.
And I apologize if I missed it. I've been drinking a lot tonight. Did you mention what type of yeast you used?
London ale yeast.
Did you mention it?
I think I did.
I'm sorry.
But I will say this, that we brewed this for our March meeting, and just so everyone knows, we brew these kind of things every meeting.
Yeah. This is what we do. We
This is
brew.
what we do.
We're a brew club. Brew.
Yeah.
So I guess
That's all we got to try right now.
well, yeah, but I mean, we drank 3 beers. Not saying which one's better, which first, second, third. This isn't the fucking Olympics, which the Olympics are awesome right now. Go Australia hurdler chick, whatever her name is.
Which one?
That Australian chick.
politics.
Oh.
No, she's hot.
Hey, Jared, I see a boil.
That's
We got a boil.
we still got a brew going on.
it's
in the
under
background.
control.
What are you guys' last minute thoughts? All 3 beers.
I would say they're all good. I would definitely drink them. I would buy them if you could get them. Some of them you can't really get here, but
Noel will sell you some homebrew.
Yeah, I thought that
$10 a bottle.
what was it, the Apocalypse Lager was really unusual, really interesting though, really good, really easy to drink, really nice. I thought that was pretty good, and the rest of them were really good too.
Yeah, it's after having just gotten back and tasting all these beers, you realize, to me, about a third of them, no, I don't want to drink it. And here to line up with 3 that not only are like, okay, I can drink it, but are like, gee, I like that and it's good. 2 thumbs up from this corner.
I'll try to be as quick as possible. Boulevard Brewing, great session beer. I want to try more of your beers after trying that. I think a little out of style pairing next to these other 2 beers, but the other 2 went well together. And this Mammoth Brewing one that I'm tasting, when Jeff first told me the ingredients, I was like, holy shit, I have no idea what that's going to taste like. And It kind of sounds a little weird. I didn't think it was going to work out. It was a badass beer. I'm still saying the same. It's a badass beer. Old Ale, great. Can't wait to try it in a year.
You get your retry.
Oh, that's you, Jeff.
Oh,
Fuck
no,
you.
I'm empty.
Which
I get a plug here. Go Spike.
Go Spike. And, yeah.
All right, let's get on with our brew day.
Brewed it.
Go off alone. Taken by another man.
All right, so how long are we into the boil, by the way? Have we
We
checked?
are like 15, 30 minutes. 15, no, we're 30 minutes. 30 minutes.
All right, so
We're
have
gonna go 30.
we added any hops yet?
No hops yet. We're like 60 seconds to, till pitching.
So what is our hop profile for the beer?
Well, we're going to start out with 3 ounces of sauce. Then we are going to give it about 45 minutes. Then we're going to throw in another 2 ounces of Hallertau. Give it a little spicy, little complexity. Then at the last minute, we're going to throw another 3 ounces of sauce to give it that sauce punch.
Okay, now, I looked at your recipe earlier, and some of the things didn't match up to what we're doing. So
That's right.
my curiosity is asking you, are we going to keep the name of this beer? Because that's not what you designed.
No, I have to admit, I was a little upset. I was talking to making some changes, and after starting, I realized I shouldn't have done it. I was a little upset about it. And so now we're going to change the name. Because it's not the recipe that I made. It's a new recipe, so it needs a new name.
So we're still going to have Red Saison, Love You Long Time, but this is not it. We are going to change the name.
And we haven't completely decided on the name, but
What are some of the categories?
some of the ones that are out there are a three sack saison. Somebody said Ho Chi Minh saison. Triple sack. It's a triple sack saison. That's like that one. I think I might stick with that. We'll see. Yeah, that's a good one. So
What about like a triclop sack?
yeah, just don't drop your sacks.
Now, I know that you did mention Hallertauer and Saws, and you have 3 sacks there unlabeled. Do we know which one's which, or we just
Well,
gonna fucking
we-
launch them and?
Here's what happened. We were talking, and we were loading sacks, and so we needed somebody. No, we forgot which ones are which. So we need a specialist, a sack sniffer, a professional
Jeff!
sack sniffer, and
I know the perfect
if we can
guy.
have.
I know the perfect guy.
Okay, good.
Jeff!
We need somebody.
I know you're a judge, man. Get over here. We need to find out which one of these sacks is Hallertauer and which one's Saws, with your expert opinion.
Hold on.
Get that chinchilla out my face. I don't like no. Saws.
Sauce, throw it in. There you go.
Now I have to choose between these two, huh?
Yep.
Hallertau.
Hotel. That's number 2.
Some more sauce.
All right, see?
That
Sack sniffer.
is experience.
Sack sniffer extraordinaire.
Damn, I say we call this Jeff's 3 sack sniffing Red Saison.
No,
Love
that-
you long time.
How about rub you wrong time?
That's right.
Love
We're
you
still
wrong
thinking
time.
of a name, but we're changing it because it ain't gonna be
Right,
what
we're
we
gonna
originally
adjust the
planned.
name. What's that?
So we just added our first hop edition. We're gonna go from there. And anything else?
Let's see. Oh, okay. This is gonna have a. We upped the recipe from the original because I made it for 5 and I kind of forgot that we were doing 10s. So we bumped up the recipe. We're gonna do 2 pounds of honey at flame out. Okay, this is new for me. It's a new thing. I did a bunch of different research on honey, and if you put it in at the beginning of the boil, you burn off all the honey flavor, but you get all the sugars. It's 95% fermentable. Okay, so it's kind of like boosting up your base malt. Now, putting it in after it's secondary is one way to do it, but you have to pasteurize it and get all the bacteria. You have to cook it in the oven in a tray, and it's a big pain in the ass, basically. So the middle ground is throwing it at flame out. It'll pasteurize it. You'll get some honey flavor. You'll get some, some ferment out of it, and it should come out good. So
Okay, and one more thing, because I have checked out a couple of your recipes. A couple of them just got me thinking, dude. They got my wheels spinning. You're very creative. You go off the wall. Reminds me of a homebrew or of a Dogfish Head or something. He just goes out there.
I dig.
I love it. And I've commented on a few of his recipes, been checking them out. And I think, if I remember right, you had a website or a link or
Yes.
some sort of thing you can go to check out Jared's recipes and comment on them. And what is it?
Yeah, I keep my recipes at Hopville, which is I dig it. It's a recipe. They got a calculation site. You punch in what you want, and it'll calc out the numbers, and you can adjust and tweak, and that's the base where each one is. And I'm JBOCK220, JBOC220 at Hopville, and you can look them up and see what I got and comment. And if you get a chance to taste one, give me some feedback.
So that's just hopville.com.
Hopville.com, that's
or
right.
just Google Hopville and find Jared. He give you a screen name.
Yeah, it'll work.
And from there, we'll get back to you. We just added our first hop edition. We'll go from there. Peace. All right, so it looks like after a long night of brewing and good eating, good time with buddies, we're almost all done with our brew. We're cooling it right now through all Noel's fancy equipment. He has a lot of Blickman gear here for the cooling. And how do you think the brew day went?
It's going all right, feeling a little bit better, color looking good. We bringing it down. We threw our orange zest in, ounce of fresh grated orange peel.
We saw you grading that, man. It looks
That's
like
right.
you were doing a good job.
Yeah. So we got that. We threw in our honey. The honey weight was kind of unknown. We used some older honey that we didn't really weigh out. So we're at about 2 pounds, which is where we should be. So that'll be all right. We'll see how that turns out. We put it in right at flame out, so hopefully it'll hold that honey flavor, and we'll see how it turns out.
All right. Well, did we get a gravity reading yet, or is that still coming?
No, that's on its
Still
way.
cooling down. Okay. So if you want to learn more about this brew, you can check out hopfill.com. You got Jared's information. Maybe crew.com. We might have some of the recipe later. And obviously stick with our podcast. We'll let you know when we get to do a tasting how this came out. And until next time, man. Keep drinking. Great beer.
Mammoth, Palooza, Apocalypse Lager. All right, we ready?
My fucking beer is empty. Fuck this.
I don't know how to turn on the chinchilla.
I'm ready.
All right. Let me go crack this open.
I ain't nothing like being in love and staring at a big old moon. I don't know, man.
Keep your day job, son.
I don't even want that.
I've got a few people to actually go with that.
All right. Ready?
Let's do it.